Hello students, today we are going to deal Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice Act 1 Scene 2 Part 3. We have already discussed students that in this scene we are introduced to the female protagonist of the play Portia and the anxiety that who would be Portia's future husband as her suitors need to participate in the lottery of casket designed by Portia's dead father was a little means of worries for Portia, as the will of Portia, the desire of Portia to choose her own husband is curbed, or you can say curtailed or limited, restricted by the will of her dead father. Now, Nerissa makes two significant remarks to console Portia. Already we discussed in our last part that Portia's father was a virtuous man, and if he has devised or designed the casket device for the marriage of his daughter, then it must be a noble device to test the character of the suitor. Next, one more significant remark made by Nerissa to console Portia was that the right casket will only be chosen by one who rightly loves Portia, not her wealth. Understood, students? Now let's begin. That Portia was requesting Nerissa to call out the names of the suitors who already visited Portia one by one, and as Nerissa would call out the names, Portia would describe them, and according to her comments, Nerissa might conclude about Portia's love for them or affection for them or description for them. Understood? The first suitor is the prince from Naples in Italy, means the Neapolitan prince. Next, what's the comment made by Portia about him? According to Portia, the Neapolitan prince was a young horse, as he does nothing else but talk of his horse. Students, you can mark this line. He makes it a great appropriation to his own good parts that he can shew him himself. Here, Portia is talking that the Neapolitan prince takes pride that he can show himself his horse. Next comes the County Palatine, means a German Count Palatine. So, what comments are made by Portia about him? So, the second one to be described is the Count from Palatine, Germany. According to Portia, he is always angry and frowning. He listens to humorous stories without a smile. Portia said that her fear was Count Palatine would become a sad philosopher. Students, here I want you to underline weeping philosopher because it is related to a mythological reference. Please note down weeping philosopher, because here the German Count from Palatine is compared to one of the very sad or weeping philosopher. His name is Heraclitus of Ephesus. Please write down the spelling: Heraclitus. I repeat, Heraclitus of Ephesus. Ephesus. So Heraclitus of Ephesus went to live alone in the mountains as he was very sad or dismayed by mankind's stupidity. So Portia fears that when Count Palatine would grow, he would prove himself or change himself into a weeping philosopher. Portia said that her fear was Count Palatine would become a sad philosopher when he grows old, because he is unusually gloomy or sad in his youth. Portia also added that it would be better for her to marry a skull with a bone in its mouth. Students, I think you have seen in the biology lab skeleton. So, with a bone in its mouth than either of the first two suitors. So, this is Portia's comment made for a German count and the first one Neapolitan prince. Understood? Now, come to the next. The third suitor is the French lord Monsieur Le Bon. Students, Monsieur means Mr. Okay, used in French. Now, see Portia's comments, because you will see that Portia is making fun by saying that God made him and therefore let him pass for a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but why he hath a horse better than a Neapolitan's, a better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is every man in no man. If a throstle sing, he falls straight a capering. He will fence his own shadow. If I would marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. If he would despise me, I would forgive him. For if he love me to madness, I shall never requite him. Underline the word requite, means love in return, or Portia cannot return his love. Now I shall explain this context. Listen carefully. So students, in this context, Portia has made a gentle satire or humor about the French Lord Monsieur Le Bon, who is another suitor, the third suitor. She says that since God created him, he may be accepted as a man. He has every man's fault, but he is not a man at all. Please underline this line. This line refers that Le Bon has everybody's characteristics or features, but no personality of his own. He is being described so as he does not have a personality of his own. Like, he has every man's fault, but he is not a man at all. He will start dancing if a thrush is a type of a bird, singing bird, were to sing. He is so energetic that he cannot keep quiet. He would draw a sword and fence with his own shadow rather than not fence at all. Portia says that if she were to marry him, she would need to marry 20 husbands. Finally, Portia adds that if he hated her, she would forgive him. But if he loved her passionately, madly means passionately, she would never respond, means she would never return his love. Understood, students? Now come to the next suitor. What you say then to Falconbridge, the young Baron of England? Students, read this line. You know I say nothing to him, for he understands not me nor I. He hath neither Latin, French, nor Italian, and you will come into the court and swear that I have a poor penny worth in the English. Penny worth means little knowledge. He is the proper man's picture, but alas, who can converse with a dumb show? How oddly he is suited. I think he bought his doublet in Italy, his roundhouse in France, his bonnet in Germany, and his behavior everywhere. Now, please note down the explanation of this context. Portia speaks about Falconbridge, the young Baron of England. Portia says that he is the picture of a handsome man. He is called a dumb show. Please underline dumb show, as he cannot speak any other language apart from English. So he does not know Latin, French or Italian. Portia could not communicate with him as he knows only English. and Portia has a very little knowledge about English. Means Portia, being from Italy, does not know English. So it is being said that he does not know any other language apart from English, neither Latin nor French nor Italian, and so they cannot communicate with each other. Then underline the sentences. He is proper man's picture, means he is the picture of a handsome man. Next, underline how oddly he is suited, means how strangely he is dressed. Okay, how strangely he is dressed. Portia has commented on the dressing sense of Falcon Bridge. Now underline doublet means jacket, then round hose means trousers, bonnet means hat. So Portia thinks that he bought his jacket in Italy, his trousers in France, his cap in Germany, and his manners from everywhere. So students, I hope that up to here you have understood and you have noted down the important meanings and explanations whatever I have given you, and I shall continue the last part in my next video. Thank you.